Hi, this is Will Clark of the San Francisco Giants, wishing everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. You are on the Jim on Base show, so welcome aboard.
Hey, it's Ryan from the Jim on Base Show, the podcast that brings you closer to your favorite athletes and entertainers. And I want to give a huge shout out to my friends at Claim to Fame. They have some of the best jackets out there that I love to wear. You can rock them for date night, a casual outing with friends, or even while doing a podcast. They're lightweight, they're durable, and perfect for any setting. My favorites are the dark blue, the olive shade, and if you want to switch things up and go for a lighter color, one of my favorite go-tos is the Pacific blue. So check them out at claimtofame.com for all their different styles. So make sure you click the link so the next time you step out, you'll be feeling good with Claim to Fame. Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Base Show. For today's very special guest, we have on a friend of the show. He's returning. He played 15 years in the big leagues and was a six-time All-Star. One of the times we chat, he was about to get his number retired by the Giants, number 22. He also co-hosts his own podcast, Deuces Wild, with the great Byrnes. Please welcome the thrill, Will Clark. Will, thanks for coming on.
Hey, Jim, good to be back on the show. How you doing?
Doing good. Excited to chat with you again. And one thing we got to touch on, though, you got the gear on. You mentioned you're out hunting, right?
Yeah, I got the hunting gear on because I'm out in the middle of Arkansas. I barely got service, so thanks for hanging in with me on this. But yeah, we're out here doing a little duck hunting and filming a TV show. So I'm definitely authentic in my gear from muddy water.
I'm a little disappointed, though. I was picturing you in the woods with eye black on, you know?
Well, put it this way. I got the sunglasses and all that stuff, so I don't need the eye black. I'm good.
Well, it's funny. About a month ago, I had Fergie Jenkins on, and he was out hunting, too. I don't know if you ever hit the woods with him or anything, or...
You know what? I have not hit the woods with Fergie. I did know he was a big hunter, though. And, I hadn't seen him in a few years. So, he's one of the all-time greats there with the Texas Rangers. So I look forward to seeing him one of these days here pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, it makes me wonder, you have a lot of Giants through the years that I know you're close with, new and old. Do you ever take them out with you, or?
I have in the past. I haven't here lately, but I have in the past. So, it'd be fun to maybe get one of the current Giants out there. We'll see if somebody who doesn't want to go get in the woods or the swamp with me.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, it is a holiday episode, and as you know, Christmas is just a few weeks away. So I got to ask, have you got your shopping done, or how do you do it?
You know what? I'm one of those guys. I'm done early. I get everything out the way early. That way, Christmas doesn't sneak up on me, and birthdays don't sneak up on me. So I'm pretty prepared in that regard. So yeah, so Christmas we're ready to, have my brother and his family up at the house for Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day. We'll do Santa and all that, and then yeah, after that, things start making a turn towards spring training.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, excited to hopefully see you out at spring training. I saw you there last year. So are you
Yeah.
gonna hit coming back?
I'm planning on it unless if I have a major hitch in the giddy up, but I'm
Mm.
planning on it. And yeah, it ought to be pretty interesting. We ought to have a new look to the team.
Yeah.
Find Willie Adamas. It'd be good, getting a chance to see him. And then yeah, I would imagine we're going to have a few other changes before spring training as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that as well. It made me wonder, though, could we ever see the thrill out front putting the lights up, or do you still do the lights?
Putting the lights up where at the house?
Yeah, for Christmas, or?
Oh no, 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 no. This way, put it this way. There's two things that I do not deal with, and one of them is electricity. All right, I am not the guy that's gonna get shocked or plug something in the wrong socket or whatever. Nah, that ain't happening. So I have professionals that do that stuff.
You leave that to Chevy Chase, right? He'll get.
There you go. There you go. All the guys that hook those sockets up the wrong way and they blow out all the bulbs and all that. I'll let them all do that. I stay the hell out the way.
Well, it reminds me, real quick. Then, do you have a favorite Christmas movie? Because I got to go. I think everyone's now is Elf, but do you have a favorite one?
I'm a Home Alone guy. I love
Mm,
talking and those guys, Joe Pesci and those guys. I really had a good time with those movies.
nice, a classic.
Yep.
Well, one thing I want to touch on is your Deuces Wild podcast. I always look forward to opening up Instagram and seeing what
Yeah.
teaser clips you guys put out. And you do that with Eric Byrnes. So it just made me wonder, how did you guys kind of get close or become friends through the years? Do you remember?
You know what? I mean, Eric was a big, huge Giants fan growing up, and then he and I kind of connected when he played for the Diamondbacks,
Mm.
and so that was one of the things I did was, hooked up with him when I actually was one of the assistant coaches over there. I was helping out the Diamondbacks for a little while, so that was first off, and then he was big in pushing for my jersey retirement.
Mm.
So, I had him on the field for the jersey retirement speech and all that. And then, he came up with this new format, no filter network. And, the show's Deuces Wild. He was 22, I was 22. And so it kind of made sense. And we've been doing it every Tuesday night. We laugh, giggle, cut up. Half the time we're drinking when we're talking. So there's some silly stories that come out, and everything's true. I mean, there's no holding back. Like I said, it's no filter, and we have a good time with it.
Well, it must be cool for you too, because not only is it someone you can bond with that played in the big leagues like you, but like you said, you were his favorite guy, I think, right? That's why he pushed the jersey retirement so hard,
Yeah,
right?
no, and that's a little pat on the back for Eric. He's a real go getter, and like I said, he pushed for the jersey to be retired, and then after that, like I said, he came up with this platform, and so we're trying to grow the platform together, but yet he's the guy who's running all the deal behind the
Mm.
scenes. Good deal.
Well, have you guys ever talked to each other about wishing you could be like teammates or played at the same time? Because that would have been
Uh,
quite the clubhouse.
yeah, we'd have had an interesting clubhouse, that's for sure. You know, he would be one of those kind of guys that I would love to have on a team. If you give me, 8 or 9, Eric Byrnes is, we're gonna win. We're gonna figure out a way to win. And so yeah, I'd have loved to play with him, back in our era.
Yeah, you would have ran through some walls together.
Probably, and we'd have been able to relate, whether it be, in person, back at a plane, about, hey, look for this pitch and this count, and
Mm.
kind of things. Plus, on top of that, just the way he played the game the right way. So,
Yeah. Well, it made me wonder, once you retired, was there any managers that came about after you left the game that maybe you became a fan of or wish you played for?
you know what? I mean, the guys that I played for were pretty special. Dusty Baker kept going for a while. Tony La Russa, Hall of Famer as well. I've been on the kind of special assistant gig with Bruce Bochy and
Mm.
learned a lot from him. So, I mean, I'm as far as the guys in the game now that are managers, I mean, they're doing a real good job. But also at the same time, I played for some really good ones.
Well, one thing I want to bring up too was last time we spoke, me and you were in the dugout at Oracle Park, and I grew out a mustache for Mike Yastrzemski's Mustache May. And
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of you with like some stubble, but have you ever grown out the mustache or beard, anything
Uh,
like that?
Not here lately. If you see pictures of me in a Giants jersey and I got a mustache, that means I lost a bet. So it was me and Craig Lefferts.
Mm.
He'd always bet me, and if I lost and I had to grow a stash, and then if he lost, he had to cut his stash off. So I think I actually had to grow mustaches more than he cut his off. So
That's funny. Well, when I have people on, whether they're athletes, comedians, musicians, I always like to know, because I'm a big music fan, what kind of music are you into, and who was your very first concert that you went to?
oh my God, I am a classic rocker.
Mm.
So ACDC, Van Halen, Skinner, Foghat, all of them. And our my first concert was, believe it or not, back in New Orleans. It was in the Superdome. It was called Day of Rock and Roll, and it
Mm.
was an all day thing, and like 5 name bands played. And I definitely remembered Skinner and Foghat,
Mm.
and I think ACDC was there that time too.
Wow.
So I mean, I've been fortunate enough to go to some really good concerts. Backstage with Van Halen down at the
Wow.
Shoreline Amphitheater. When I was playing with the Giants and stuff, we were on the stage with Doobie Brothers and
Wow.
Huey Lewis and the News. So I've really enjoyed, music and being, kind of around some of those guys.
Nice. Those are some good names right there.
Yep, yep, yep.
Well, did you have a walk-up song when you played, or who would you pick
Yeah,
now?
that was before I
Okay.
was before walk up songs. When I was standing in the on deck circle, I was concentrating on what the hell I was doing. I didn't know. All right, I need to pay attention to Greg Maddox saying fastball in and paying attention and getting the fastball in and not missing it.
Mm. Well, one thing I've noticed about you too, you've always been so good with fans, whether it's signing autographs, saying hi. So, was there ever a moment early on that kind of stuck with you to make you want to be that way, or?
I mean, when you were playing, I tried to do as much as possible, but then there were definite time constraints, where I had to do my work and then I had to get prepared for the game. Now, being, the special assignment guy and then also doing what I do for the Giants as far as, being kind of a community ambassador, I do a lot of fan interaction. So I probably do a lot more now than I did when I was playing. And I really enjoy it. I'm making some really good friends away from the field, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, let's get into the current Giants really quick. You kind of mentioned it there with our recent signing, and I imagine you're excited with Buster being back, right?
Yeah, definitely. Having Buster, take over as you know president of baseball ops, and he's starting to put people in positions that are really going to help out quite a bit. I know he hired Zach Manassian
Mm.
as his new GM, and then yeah, I mean, you know, I think he's going to do a real good job of getting the Giants back to where we need to be as far as, competitive, not only on the major league level, also on the minor league level and growing our own talent, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Buster can do.
And I know we're already a year in of Bob Melvin as the manager, but it must have been pretty cool to have your old teammate back. I noticed you guys would stand around a lot, and watch drills being done at spring training, so it's got to be a good feeling to be back with Bob.
Yeah, no, it's really good being back with Bob, and like you said, former teammate. Matt Williams is another former
Mm.
teammate, base coach, and to be able to, you know, have a relationship to where if I see something, I walk up and I say, "Hey, I saw this going on. Maybe we need to make an adjustment here." And they've been really receptive,
Mm.
and so I thank Bob Melvin for that.
Well, one thing I thought was really cool relating to that was I remember at spring training last year, you had said how you visit with the minor league teams, you're up with the big league team. I think you had taken notes on like every player
Yeah.
and presented that to Bob, and he has said how that was like invaluable, right?
When I see the major league team at least once a month, and then I'll go see all of our minor league affiliates. And when I go see the minor league affiliate, what I'll do, I mean, because I stay out there for a full week, so I see them for at least six, maybe more games than that. And you get a pretty good run of things, especially on the position player side of things, because I see probably most of the guys get about 15 to 20 at bats, so I get a pretty good look as to what they're doing. And then I see at least one starter all the way through. And then most of the relievers I get a chance to see once or twice. So,
Hmm.
you just get some, I guess you want some evaluation, that maybe, Bob or Buster or whatever, they're not getting through maybe like videotape and all that. And, it's one of those things where, when you put your butt in a seat, and you sit there and you watch it for 6, 7 days in a row, you get a pretty good idea what's going on.
Yeah. Before the Giants filled the vacancy with Bob Melvin, I've always heard, fans always want Matt Williams or Will Clark to be a coach or a manager. So I've never asked you, but I'm always just curious. What goes through your mind when fans are like, "Oh, we want Will Clark in there"? Is that something you'd ever consider later on, or?
Well, put it this way, if I was a manager, I'd have to have a certain type of player. Um, I'm not one of those guys that are going to treat you with kid gloves.
Mm.
I'm gonna kind of kick you in the butt, and some people take that really well. Some people take constructive criticism really well, and then other people don't. And the ones that don't, I don't stay around them too much.
Because I can imagine you having good arguments with the umpire, coming out and.
Well, let's say not arguments. Let's say discussions. We had
Mhm.
some discussions on to why he was right and I was wrong, or vice versa. And some of it was truly, truly, truly professional, and then some of it was, hey, you're a jerk. So there you go.
Well, last thing on the current game, real quick. I don't think it's going to happen, but you probably heard about the golden at bat. So just wondering what your opinion was on that.
I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about it, especially on Deuces Wild. You know, this commissioner keeps messing with the rules,
Mm-hmm.
and he stay the hell out the way and let the game play like the game has played for 150 years. He does not need to keep getting involved in the game. Just
Yeah.
stay the hell out the way.
But I do have to say, if you're the golden at bat player, would you enjoy that? Do you think, or
No, I wouldn't. In fact,
or
that's my argument.
mm,
Is baseball's nine players on a field, and you have to pull for your teammate just like your teammate has to pull for you. And so, you know, there are certain times of the game where I'm not up at the plate because guess what? That's the way the batting order goes, and
mm,
you have to pull for your teammate to come through in the clutch just like he pulled for you.
yeah,
And so, it's even though it's an individual sport, it's the ultimate team game. And so I work within the team framework all the time. And so for me to, taking that bat away from not only my teammate, maybe my friend and another true professional, I think it's BS. So,
yeah.
I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of the DH either. While we're on that subject, I mean, I liked it when the pitchers hit and you had to make double switches, and guys on the bench knew that there was pretty good chance I'm getting in this game if there's a double switch and stuff like that. Whereas you go over the American League, when they had the DH, and you guys who sat on the bench, they'd go 2 weeks without even playing sometimes. So I don't think that's a way to keep everybody involved.
And I also thought it was lame too that a pitcher can go out there and act tough and hit guys, knowing they don't have to go to the plate.
That would be correct. That would be correct. If you want to go airmail somebody, well then you better take your lumps because you're going to get
Yeah.
airmail.
Yep. I've been accredited to cover the 49ers lately, so I've been thinking about Candlestick, and it just made me wonder, was there a special bond between Giants players and Niners players when you both played at Candlestick?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, the 49ers would come out there and watch us play, during the season, and then vice versa. I mean,
Nice.
they'd start up, their preseason in August, and so sometimes we were able to go see them play as well. And so yeah, it was a definite mutual admiration society. I mean, those guys had it going on back then. You're talking about Montana and Young and Rice and Dwight Clark, Harris Barton, all those guys. Roger Craig, Ronnie Lott. I
Mm.
mean, I really enjoyed being around those guys and seeing them control the football end of things, and we were trying to do the same on the baseball side of things.
Well, it made me wonder. I know the configuration was different between baseball and
Yeah,
football, but did you
yeah,
guys like somehow share lockers or anything like that?
yeah. There was three locker rooms at Candlestick. So I mean, we kind of didn't go into the 49ers room. We kind of used it for storage, during
Mm.
the, and once the 49ers started playing, we didn't venture down there. And then yeah, the field was configured differently. Our basically the first baseline at Candlestick was the end zone,
Mm.
and out behind the left field fence was the other end zone. So the football field ran from first base to left field,
Mm.
and yeah, I mean, they'd have to roll the seats out of right field, and so you'd have these big grooves in the grass when you got back from being on the road, and they'd have to take sod and fill it in and sand, and I mean, the infield was absolutely chewed up. They'd take sand and they'd spread sand all over the place, and so that nobody could see it, they'd spray paint it green. So then, you'd catch a ground ball, it'd have a freaking rooster tail coming at you of sand, and then you go throw it, and you look down at your hand's green. So from paint. So it was funny stuff once the 49 started playing.
Well, I saw Steve Young the other day, and he mentioned, I know the configuration, like we said, was different, but he mentioned there's like a tunnel that would lead from the locker room to the field, and he
Yeah.
talked about like pipes dripping and leaking. So, did that bring back any memories for you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely some memories. There was three light bulbs down there. It was about I don't know, maybe I don't know, 30, 40 yard tunnel. It was three light bulbs, and not we bash all the light bulbs. We'd be walking through there in the dark sometimes. So feeling our way along. But yeah, Candlestick was an interesting place. It was a fun place to play. Very challenging place to play. And believe it or not, the best weather was during football season.
Well, wanted to touch on one quick thing before we wrap it up. I saw a picture of you sitting on the bench. It looked like maybe in spring training, and you were talking with Willie Mays. And
Yeah, that
obviously,
was training.
yeah, we lost Willie. And just curious, what was your relationship like? And I've heard stories where he'd call guys over and say, "Hey, I noticed you were doing this or that." Did he have tips for you?
Oh, he did at all times, and I was also one of those kind of guys, and it's just my personality. I sought him out. I sought
Mm,
Willie May. I sought Willie McCovey out, to specifically ask them questions, to try to improve our game. And I mean, both of those guys, McCovey and Mays, was so forthcoming with information. They really took a lot of pride in handing the game down to the next generation. That's what I'm trying to do right now as well.
nice. Well, Will, one last question then. You're in the gear, you're in your truck. What's on the agenda the rest of the day? You got your dog behind you?
Yeah, my dog's sleeping right behind me here in the truck. But, I don't know whether we're going to hunt this afternoon or just take it easy and then go out again tomorrow morning. Like I said, we're doing a TV show.
Mm.
So we'll see what the TV guys got, and we'll go from there.
Are you able to say what the TV show is? Can we promote it?
Yeah.
Or?
Chad Belding, who's a big, huge San Francisco Giant fan. He
Mm.
lives in Reno, Nevada, and his show is on the Outdoor Channel. And it's called The Fowl Life, FOW,
Okay.
Fowl Life. And yeah, Chad's a great guy, and he hosted me last year. Matter of fact, our episode just aired last week, and then we're doing another show this week.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll put some links in the bio. I'll keep my eyes out for that then. And I got to say, it's always good to talk to you, and thanks for always being cool to me.
Hey, no problem at all, Jim. I appreciate it. And nobody gets a chance to, but thank you for your service being a fireman, too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll, and all listeners, happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, y'all. Have a great one. Go Giants.